Governments wield significant power in shaping economies and markets through a diverse toolkit of policies. These policies, often enacted with the best intentions, can have far-reaching consequences, both positive and negative. From monetary policies aimed at controlling inflation to fiscal measures designed to stimulate growth, the impact of government intervention is undeniable. In the past decade alone, we have witnessed a series of impactful policies that have reshaped the economic landscape, offering valuable lessons for the future. This essay will delve into the intricacies of how government policies influence markets and economies, exploring both intended and unintended consequences. We will examine major policies of the past decade, analyzing their goals and real-world outcomes, drawing upon real-world examples and data to illustrate their impact. By understanding the historical interplay between government action and economic reality, we can gain insights into the complexities of policymaking and its implications for our collective future. Monetary policy, typically managed by central banks, plays a crucial role in regulating the flow of money within an economy. One primary tool of monetary policy is the adjustment of interest rates. Lowering interest rates makes borrowing cheaper, encouraging spending and investment, which can stimulate economic growth. Conversely, raising interest rates can curb inflation by slowing down borrowing and spending. The U.S. Federal Reserve's response to the 2008 financial crisis provides a compelling example of monetary policy in action. To avert a deeper recession, the Fed slashed interest rates to near zero and implemented quantitative easing, injecting liquidity into the financial system. These measures helped stabilize the economy and prevented a more severe downturn. However, prolonged low interest rates also contributed to asset bubbles and increased inequality, highlighting the complex and often unpredictable effects of monetary interventions. Fiscal policy, encompassing government spending and taxation, represents another powerful lever for influencing economic activity. During recessions, governments often employ expansionary fiscal policy, increasing spending or cutting taxes to boost demand and create jobs. Conversely, during periods of economic overheating, contractionary fiscal policy, involving spending cuts or tax increases, can help cool down the economy and control inflation. The American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009, a massive stimulus package passed in response to the Great Recession, exemplifies expansionary fiscal policy. The act injected hundreds of billions of dollars into the economy through infrastructure projects, tax cuts, and aid to state and local governments. While credited with mitigating the severity of the recession, the act also added to the national debt, sparking debates about the long-term sustainability of such stimulus measures. Government regulations play a critical role in shaping market behavior, ensuring fair competition, protecting consumers, and mitigating systemic risks. Regulations can address a wide range of issues, from environmental protection to financial stability. However, excessive or poorly designed regulations can stifle innovation, increase costs for businesses, and hinder economic growth. The Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, enacted in the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, sought to strengthen financial regulations and prevent future crises. The act introduced stricter oversight of financial institutions, increased capital requirements, and established the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to safeguard consumers from predatory lending practices. While credited with enhancing financial stability, the act also faced criticism for its complexity and potential to hinder lending activity. Section 5. Trade policies and global interactions. Trade policies governing the exchange of goods and services across borders exert significant influence on economic growth, employment, and global interconnectedness. Governments can implement tariffs, quotas, and subsidies to protect domestic industries or promote exports. However, protectionist trade policies can lead to trade wars, higher prices for consumers, and distortions in global markets. The recent U.S.-China trade war, characterized by escalating tariffs imposed by both countries, exemplifies the potential economic consequences of protectionist trade policies. While intended to protect domestic industries and reduce trade deficits, the tariffs ultimately resulted in higher costs for businesses and consumers, disrupting supply chains and hindering global economic growth. The episode underscored the interconnectedness of global markets and the potential for trade policies to have far-reaching impacts. Section 6. The Affordable Care Act, a healthcare and economic revolution. The Affordable Care Act, enacted in 2010, represented a landmark effort to expand health insurance coverage and reform the U.S. healthcare system. The ACA introduced a mandate for individuals to obtain health insurance, expanded Medicaid eligibility, and established health insurance marketplaces with subsidies for low and middle-income Americans. The law aimed to reduce the number of uninsured Americans, improve access to affordable healthcare, and control rising healthcare costs. The ACA's implementation had significant economic implications, impacting healthcare spending, insurance markets, and labor markets. The expansion of health insurance coverage led to increased demand for healthcare services, boosting the healthcare sector's contribution to GDP. The ACA also introduced new regulations and taxes on healthcare providers and insurers, which generated debate about their impact on healthcare costs and market competition. Section 7. The Dodd-Frank Act, reshaping the financial landscape. The Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, passed in 2010 in response to the 2008 financial crisis, aimed to overhaul the regulatory framework governing the financial industry. The act introduced a wide range of measures to enhance financial stability, protect consumers, and prevent future crises. Among its key provisions were stricter oversight of financial institutions, increased capital requirements, restrictions on proprietary trading, and the creation of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The Dodd-Frank Act had a profound impact on the financial industry, influencing lending practices, investment strategies, and risk management. The Act's increased capital requirements aimed to strengthen the resilience of financial institutions, while restrictions on proprietary trading sought to limit risky bets by banks. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau played a significant role in safeguarding consumers from predatory lending practices and promoting financial literacy. Section 8. Tax Cuts and Jobs Act Intended and Unintended Consequences. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, a major piece of legislation enacted during the Trump administration, implemented significant changes to the U.S. tax code. The act reduced individual and corporate tax rates, increased the standard deduction, and made various other adjustments to the tax system. The law aimed to stimulate economic growth, boost job creation, and increase wages by reducing the tax burden on businesses and individuals. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act generated considerable debate regarding its economic impact and distributional effects. Proponents argued that the tax cuts would incentivize investment, leading to economic growth and job creation. Critics contended that the tax cuts primarily benefited wealthy individuals and corporations, exacerbating income inequality and adding to the national debt. The act's long-term economic consequences remain a subject of ongoing analysis and debate. Section 9. Personal Impacts and Reflections. The impact of government policies extends beyond abstract economic indicators, touching the lives of individuals in tangible ways. For instance, the Affordable Care Act provided millions of Americans with access to health insurance, offering peace of mind and financial security in the face of medical needs. Similarly, the Dodd-Frank Act's consumer protections helped safeguard individuals from predatory lending practices, preventing financial hardship and promoting fairness in the marketplace. On a personal level, I have witnessed the transformative power of government policies in enabling access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunity. Growing up in a developing country, I benefited from government-funded education programs that provided me with a pathway to higher learning and a better future. These experiences underscore the importance of thoughtful and effective government policies in creating a more equitable and prosperous society. Section 10. Conclusion: Lessons Learned and the Future of Policy. The past decade has offered a rich tapestry of experiences demonstrating the profound influence of government policies on markets and economies. From monetary interventions to fiscal stimulus, regulatory reforms to trade agreements, government actions have shaped the economic landscape, offering both successes and challenges. As we navigate an increasingly complex and interconnected world, understanding the lessons of past policies is crucial for crafting effective policies for the future. One key takeaway is the importance of considering both the intended and unintended consequences of policy interventions. While policies are often enacted with noble goals, their real-world effects can be multifaceted and unpredictable. Furthermore, the interconnectedness of global markets requires a nuanced understanding of how domestic policies can ripple across borders, impacting international trade, financial flows, and geopolitical relationships. As we move forward, policymakers must embrace a data-driven and evidence-based approach, carefully assessing the potential impacts of their decisions and adapting strategies to address evolving economic realities.